So let's start.
All right. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. We're Knolist, formerly known as Penny Drop, but we did some pivoting, and we're here to present a new and better way to organize and conduct research. I'm Vinny,
Hi, I'm Evan.
and we'll be presenting our business today.
Right. So today, it doesn't matter if you can memorize facts or processes on how to do something because anyone can just look it up on the internet. What is important is finding and organizing the information available to you in a way that helps you have key insights and connections about those topics that no one has thought of before. That's where true innovation lies. And this is the core of the problem we want to solve. How do you organize your research on a new topic to obtain novel ideas? Let's look at some current solutions. So imagine you're doing research and you're reading from a bunch of articles and you're watching videos and you're using your organization's online resources. Everything is very disorganized because you have to keep navigating back and forth between all the tabs, which is very slow. It's not possible to have data because the connections between tabs aren't obvious. So you try something else. This time it's a Word doc for taking detailed notes on each source. The problem is that manually adding all the information to the document is not efficient. You still rely solely on your ability to see connections between topics, and you're doing all of the work instead of having technology help you. The root of this problem is that web browsing is currently a linear process, which doesn't work for doing research because it makes it very difficult for you to track your progress, prioritize the best sources, stay organized, and find intelligent connections in an efficient way.
So to solve this problem, we're very proud to present Knolist, a new way to think about research organization. So the essence of our platform is basically a web application that automatically tracks your research progress online. You're also able to add notes and comments to specific sources you find more useful exactly when you see them. So that makes it much easier to keep track of all your thoughts while you do research. And you can also get recommendations for new resources based on the current state of your research. All of that can be easily visualized in a structure similar to a mind map. And this is what it looks like. So this is one of our mockups that represents what the web page would look like, and each node represents a page that you've visited. The connections between them represent how you got to each page. So because the connections are made this way, the topics that are closely related are grouped together in the graph. So that provides a very intuitive organization of your research, makes it very easy to find everything you're looking for. And you can also create new connections and delete unneeded ones, or categorize groups of nodes based on different tags. You can also see a list of all your active projects and switch between them. And you can share projects with other users, which makes it much easier as well to share progress with other people from your team as you do your research.
So this is a working prototype of our current solution. It operates in the Chrome web browser and integrates with our website. It already tracks which sites you visited and organizes the information in our system. So we have the data already. And we also have a find something similar button. And when you highlight text on this page and click the button, the app goes through all the web pages that you've already visited and finds connections that you haven't seen before. So that's what we have so far. And our next step is to work on the visualization of the graph for our website.
Awesome. So our initial target market is universities and colleges, and we want to market this product as an academic tool to improve the quality and the depth of their students' research projects. And we want to reduce certain time-intensive parts of the research process, like organizing the research and finding those connections. And we want to reach this market by reaching out directly to administrations, and specifically the university registrar, the office of the provost, and any other offices related to student services at each university. At Hopkins, for example, we've identified our first point of contact, Tom Black, who oversees the registrar and student services at the university. Our business model will be subscription-based, and the reason why we chose this was we wanted to choose a model similar to other software products that want to offer a free version for students to try out and get acquainted with the product, but also want to offer bigger organizations the ability to organize this better and offer this at a larger scale to all of their members. And so after we prove successful in the academic environment, we intend to target other markets that have users who do research, such as consultants, equity analysts, and venture capitalists. Here's a more detailed breakdown of our subscription tiers. So as you can see, we have 3 different tiers. The first one is a basic free version that's open to anyone, that's intended to have people try out the product. So it has a limited number of capabilities. You can only do a few projects, a limited number of nodes per project. After that, we have a pro version for $10 a month per user. But we also intend to offer a 50% student discount to encourage those students since they're part of our initial market. This version will have most of our main capabilities, so you can have collaboration between other users, you can have unlimited projects, unlimited nodes. And then finally, we have our business or enterprise version for $20 a month per student, but we also intend on offering reduced prices for universities when they reach a certain threshold of users, because again, they're our initial target market. The pro version, the business version, is similar to the pro version, but it also allows these businesses to coordinate their own online resources with our platform. So for example, Johns Hopkins could coordinate shared library services with our platform. And then to capture the size of this opportunity, these are some figures from our initial target market. So the first one represents the amount of money that universities and colleges spend per year on on combined expenses for student services, academic support, and instructional support, which is exactly where we fall, where our product falls in the category. So if we look at the average of our monthly subscription fees, we get $15 per month. And that's $180 per year, which is less than 2% of that annual expenditure. So that just shows it's a very accessible price tag based on what the universities are already spending. The second figure is the number of college students in the US as of last fall, which is about 20 million. And if we take our assumption of $180 per student per year, we're looking at a total addressable market of $3.6 billion. And that's just our initial target market.
So we also wanted to highlight some of the competitive advantage that our product has over current possible solutions. So to solve this problem, we believe that a solution needs to gather and record information automatically, as opposed to manual entry. And also it needs to create and show the linked connections to help the users have those great ideas and insights. So on this graph, we have identified many of our main competitors. Most of their note-taking and mind map applications, also pen and paper, of course. And as you can see, we're the only one in the top right region because our solution is unique. Knolist is more than just a way to take notes or mind map. It's well positioned to solve the problem. Sorry, 1 second here. Yeah, so finally, this is the Knolist team. We've all personally been impacted by this problem to research, and we are confident that we have found the solution. We're computer science majors with minors in entrepreneurship, and we've all worked in startups and large companies, so we have the skills to make this happen. So thank you so much for your time and for listening. We are Knolist, and we want to help revolutionize the way research is conducted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the judges? Aiden?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of from the beginning, you said like research is a linear process, except like showing your Google work, but the web is a graph, and Google is actually doing all of this for you. So is your algorithm just basically doing some some information retrieval and keyword matching on the search that people have, and then just caching that in a visually pleasing format? Or is there something like more going on there? Because I'm not sure how different this is just from like what Google is already doing when you're going back and forth basically from all your searches, and then showing you a graph basically of how all of your pages that you visited are related.
Yeah, so showing a graph of how the pages are related is one of the key benefits of this. And as opposed to Google, where Google, they have that graph internally, they don't share it with their users. And their graph also, it's really based on your search history. So this is based on all the research you're doing. So if you're on Wikipedia and you're on like an article about dogs, and then you click into an article about, let's say like mammals, for example, our graph would connect those two articles where Google wouldn't do that exactly.
All right. Well, PageRank was that though, right? Kind of.
PageRank kind of does
for
that.
activity.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, PageRank has some similar technology, and we're using some of the technology that Google published.
All right. Other questions? Doug?
So how do you weed out advertising?
How do we weed out advertising?
Get to the raw research and the linkage? I use Google for example. If you're querying something in Google, half the results are ad related.
Yeah. So after you Google, so this is how it works. You Google something, you click on a link. We track the sites that you visited that are real pages. So we wouldn't be looking at like all the Google results, but we're looking at the page that you visited and the information that you gained from those pages specifically. So there wouldn't be any ads there. And we have a thing called a content extractor. And what it does is it'll take a page and extract the real content out of it.
Other questions?
I actually have another question, if that's okay.
I think so.
Yeah,
1
so
minute.
yeah, your target market was universities and researchers for students, but I know like at Hopkins, like there are a ton of open source research tools, which usually academics like to basically store all these citations and share these documents. And I didn't see them sort of, your list sort of is more like these high touch, easy to use apps. How do you differentiate? Because the other problem too is like paying for this. A lot of times if you're a researcher, that's the paying customer is like the PI of the lab who has grants and money. And they're usually not too open to paying for extra software. You know, they're using as many free open source tools as possible. How are you going to bridge that gap that, you know, usually then academics, researchers are using free tools as opposed to paid ones?
Yeah, so I think what we're trying to get at this is we want to offer something that's useful for all the students. And so we have a lot of these more in-depth tools that maybe some more, you know, specialist researchers might use. But this is a problem that we notice that all students have. I mean, we've all been through this problem, even while working on this idea. You know, sometimes you're doing some research on, you know, competitors or something. I want to show it to the rest of my team. That's something that, you know, is not easy to do. And we're not professional researchers. So I think we wanted to do something that's more accessible to a lot of people. And to talk about who would pay, I think our goal would be to get the entire institution to pay. So something like Hopkins is paying now for Zoom, for example, because that's a tool that they would expect everyone to use. And then again, it's also free to use at the beginning. So there's a way for students to get involved in that platform. And after that, we also have our follow-on markets. So this would also be useful for other people who do research and not straight up, you know, very formal research in the sense of writing papers, but also people in equities, for example, who have to do research on stocks or things like that.
All right, thank you very much.